Okay, in this example we have to find the y-intercept and the x-intercepts of the graph of the function f of x is equal to x cubed minus 2x minus 1. We're going to use the calculator to do this. Now, for the y-intercept, we're going to use second calc, and we're going to select 1, which is the value. Sorry, let's write that down below because it's going to make it a little bit easier. 1 value. And for the y-intercept, we know that x equals 0. So then we're going to type in that x equals 0. Okay? And we'll figure out what the calculator shows us from there. The x-intercepts are just the zeros. Okay? Remember, they're the places where the graph crosses the x-axis. So are the zeros of the function. I'm looking at that and I'm thinking that's not spelled correctly. Well, I'm going to have to check that out. Zeros of the function. Now I prefer it with the e. Well, we'll see. This video needs to be edited obviously for next year, but I'm going to go with it for right now. Okay, so the zeros of the function, we know how to do zeros. Okay, we've been doing zeros recently. So let's clear anything that was on our calculator previously and clear that as well. Now, the function this time is going to be x cubed minus 2x minus 1. So x cubed minus 2x minus 1. Okay, so that's our function, and we can graph it. So zoom 6 is the best way to graph it. Okay, and that's what our function looks like. And if you remember the zoom box, we can draw in the box around the places where the graph crosses the axes. So zoom 1 allows us to draw a box around the bits that we think are important. So let's say we start over there maybe, and we'll draw a box, and we'll just zoom in on this part around the origin. Okay, and we'll get all the places where it crosses the x and y axis, and that should be good there. Okay, press enter, and it graphs that part. Okay, so the first question was to find the y-intercept, and we said, if we look here, we said we're going to press second calc, choose 1 for the value, and then put x equal to 0, because the x equal to 0 tells us where the y-intercept is. So second calc, and we're going to choose 1 value, so just press 1, and then we want x to be equal to 0. Now it's x equals, and we want it to be 0, so just type in 0 and press enter, and it tells us that the y is equal to negative 1. So the y-intercept is equal to negative 1. Okay, so the y-intercept is equal to negative 1. That's the y-intercept. Okay, now to do the x-intercepts, we can see that there's definitely 1 and possibly 2 here, and a third one over there. So let's maybe zoom in on this section again. So we just want to zoom in very tight there on that section. Okay, so let's say we go there. And it's just hard to see because it looks like it just peaks above the graph, and we might get a better idea of whether or not it does if we just draw a much thinner slice of the graph. So something like this. And now we can see clearly that it does go above the graph. So there are 2 zeros here. There's 1 0 there and 1 0 there, and we have to be careful about those. So second calc, and we're going to choose a 0, number 2 for 0. And let's get this one over here first. So we want to move to the left of that. And we can't find our cursor, but if we keep pressing, we will get it. So there it is. And this is the point we're looking for, so we need to make sure we're on the left hand side of it, and we are now, so press enter. And then again, remember, this is the point we're looking for, so now you want to move to the right-hand side of it. So let's move to the right-hand side of it. It's just there. We press enter a couple of times, that's -1. So our first x-intercept, the first x-intercept, or the 0, is -1. So x equals -1. That's our first one. Okay, let's call it up again. And let's look for this one here. So do the whole thing over again, and this time we're looking for this point here. Okay, so second calc, and we're looking for zeros. X-intercepts are zeros. This is the point we're interested in, but we must begin on the left of it. So move back to the left a little bit, hit enter, and then after that you go to the right of it a little bit, press enter, and enter one more time, and you get -0.618. X equals -0.618. And then the last intercept, because there were 3 of them, the last intercept, oops, sorry about that, the last intercept is going to be over here. So, we'll move all the way over that. Now, that's not where we want. So second calc, and 2 for 0. Okay, now move all the way over. We're going to lose it because it's going to go off the bottom of the screen, and then hopefully it's going to come back. And if we keep going, it will come back. Just have a little bit of patience. There it is. Okay, and we're pretty close to the 0 there. That's the point that we want, where it crosses the x-axis, and we have to be on the left of it. So just move to the left a little bit. Okay, press enter. Now go back to the point and move to the right of it a little bit. Okay, and press enter. And press enter one more time. You get 1.618. X equals 1.618. Okay, now we've sort of made a habit recently of rounding off to 2 decimal places. So let's say we want to round to 2 decimal places again. Then after the second decimal place, draw a line down. After the second decimal place here, draw a line down. And since in both these cases this digit after the dividing line is greater than 5, we do have to increase the digit in front. So this is going to become x equals -0.62, and this one will become x equals 1.62. The first one doesn't have to be rounded off at all, it's exactly -1. Okay, so we have a y-intercept, y equals -1, and we have x-intercepts at -1, -0.62, and 1.62. Okay, thanks for watching.